Starting the day off. It's a pretty interesting lineup today. It's not the usual suspects. Mike's out today, had to work, so DRZ's become the trail boss. He's usually really good, but he even said himself that on this day he wasn't quite sure about where to go in certain times because we're so used to having Mike lead the way that we all get lazy and just kind of follow. So it's going to get interesting for sure. And then we have some guys riding with us that don't usually ride with us. We got WilL the Thrill on his two-stroke 300 Husqvarna. We got Brandon, who's from Canterbury. We met for the first time. He's on a 250 two-stroke KTM. And we got Tyler on his quad. So it's a pretty weird mix. You got DRZ out front on the WR450 and me in the back on the WR250F. So we're just going to go. We decided the first time to do what we call the Pee-wee loop. Just take a whip around, try to get loosened up. I haven't ridden in almost a month. Been in Texas hanging out. So we're like, okay, let's just get everybody going a little bit because we hadn't ridden together. It's not like when just Mike, DRZ, and myself, we pretty much know what each of us is going to do. So here we go. We're going to run the Pee-wee loop, as we call it. It was a nice day. It's getting almost to December now. It's getting to that point where, you know, it's not always going to be nice. After talking a little bit with these guys, we found out that Brandon rides all the time, and you'll be able to tell he's really good. Probably as fast as anybody we ride with if we let him loose. Luckily, he didn't know where he was going, so he had to kind of stay in line. But he was telling us about some places to go, and he seems like he rides a couple times a week, so you know he's going to be good. Young, fit kid. Definitely aggressive. Looking forward to seeing him ride with Mike, actually, who the two of them probably would have a pretty good time battling each other. You could even throw in Johnny Amara in there, because he's just plain out crazy to watch, so he's fun. DRZ's gonna do what he can to keep with him, that's for sure. So that day will be a different day. Today we just kind of got me and WilL with the quad, so we're gonna carry along. There's a new big log that fell down that I wasn't prepared for, but made it over it. That wasn't there last time I rode, for sure. You can see the leaves are really thick on the ground at this time of year. Luckily, we know where the trail is, but you're going to see in a little bit that we're going to get in places where we haven't ridden in a long time, and we lose the trail a couple times. Start bushwhacking our way out of there. I've been on this little downhill probably 200 times in my life, and I don't think I've ever handled it like you're supposed to. It's always a battle for me to get down that section. It's not even that technical, but apparently for me it is. Yeah, I thought the ride was going to end early right here because I started looking at, as Brendan starts looking at his bike underneath it, I thought maybe it was leaking oil or something, but as it turns out it was just his skid plate coming loose. So he was like, yeah, let's just keep riding. I was like, okay. I guess it was just making a lot of noise, but when you start bending over looking like that underneath, usually that's a bad sign. Leaking oil or leaking something. Maybe not oil, but definitely losing fluid, but that wasn't it, so caught a break there. And going to be able to continue riding.
Okay, if you're good, if not, we can run back to the house. Okay.
Check out Ty's quad, man. I don't know what that thing is. I think it might be a Yamaha. I'm not sure. But it's all funkified. It's definitely fast. It's got like a full, exhaust system on it and all kinds of stuff. That thing can really roll down the road, man. It's fast. As you can see, there he is, gone. So we made a couple stops along the way, as the brothers often do, and got to spend a little time with Will. I knew that he had raced when he was a kid, but I didn't know that he knew some of the same places I knew, as that we're both 60, so we come from the same generation. Ralph Strong's was the place for motorcycles back in the day, and he used to be a big fan of hanging out there, even though he was, I think he said he grew up in Old Lyme, maybe, I don't remember. But he raced flat track, he raced two-stroke street bikes. He had some pictures that were absolutely pretty cool. So he's a pretty funky dude for sure. He was saying he wanted to re-enter the flat track scene as a vintage racer, and he still has some of his old. I think he raced a Husqvarna back in the day, flat track, which I never heard of. When I think of flat track, I always think Harley Davidson back in those days. They used to race those 750s. But I guess there was a 400 or 450 class, and he ran his Husqvarna in that, which was pretty cool. And definitely has some skills, but he has the same problem I have. He's old, so his skills, aren't what they probably were back in the day. So it's always a little bit more of a grind for us. But since last time I rode with him, if you remember one of the videos, he's the guy that had the street helmet on in the dead of summer and was overheating. He learned his lesson. He went out and got a killer, I think it was a Fox helmet, goggles. He's set up now. And then he went and spent, not crazy money, but enough money to get his bike street legal. So he's going to have a 300 two-stroke street legal in Connecticut, which is pretty unusual. Said he was going to get it registered, I think this week or pretty soon. He met all the requirements, and I don't know what they are. And so he'll have a plate. We all have plates from different places, but he'll have a Connecticut plate on his. DRZ's got a Connecticut plate on his as well. So here we go, still working our way around the people. It's about 3.5, 4 miles. I mean, it's not small. And it's starting out the day, so we're not exactly flying. Not that I ever fly, but they're not flying. Just trying to get rolling a little bit, get loosened up, get ready to roll. It's a beautiful day. Probably 50 maybe, sunny. You can tell not a lot of cloud. It's getting cold. You don't see any leaves on the trees. It's always a disappointing sign, and it gets dark really early. I think it was dark by 5 o'clock. Matter of fact, the last two videos that Mike and DRZ posted, they ended up riding at night because it came down so early on them, and they did a bunch of night riding. And I think Johnny was in on that too. So that was pretty cool. I was expecting to see some deer out here today. Usually this time of year, I think the rut's still going on. I know DRZ and my friend Luke been hunting a lot, and getting a fair amount of deer actually. I thought it was that time of year where you'll start seeing them in the day running around, pretty wild during the day even, versus the, sunrise, sunset thing. So after we finish the Pee Wee loop here, take a pause for the cause, shall we say, and then DRZ thinks it's a good idea we go do what we call Tech 1. And that's a side trail off of the main loop that we use that Mike, Dennis, and I built or mapped out in the beginning of this summer. I think we did it this summer. It was last summer. Anyway, and what it is just basically a tougher section. You know, we look to make it a little tougher so those guys can practice for their racing. You know, it doesn't do any good to ride easy terrain or easier terrain when you're going to go race in tougher terrain. When they race Netra or even J-Day for Mike too. He races both series. But anyway, we decided to do that. Neither of us has probably ridden Tech 1, and no joke, 2 months maybe since the beginning of summer, 3 months maybe back. So I'm like, okay, you know, no problem. I can make it usually, but it's never easy. It's not my favorite thing to do, but you know, it's more challenging for sure. And everybody thought, yeah, that'd be fun, that'd be cool. Well, you're gonna see, we forgot one thing. We hadn't been on it in so long that the trail isn't worn in. So we start, and well, we'll be there in a minute. Yeah, so we take a break, and this is usually when we pick it up. Here we go. I'm going to start Tech 2. I'm following Will the Thrill, and everybody's in line here, and we're going to drop into it. It's a left. It's a pretty steep little drop-in, and it's tight because there's trees. I always struggle a little bit here, but on this particular day, with Will in front of me, our timing is just not used to riding together. I almost run into him. Here we go, we're dropping in. And right here, now I'm a little discombobulated. And there's these two branch trees on the ground right here. He goes over it, and I decide to fall down. Nice. There's some trail riding technique for you. I think I'm pinned against this tree. I can't remember right now, but it took me a second to get up. So what that does is now I'm off of the trail. They're in front of me, and Will doesn't know the trail at all. This is his first time on it. So things are going to get a little squirrely here. I tried to catch back up to, because I was hoping to be able to see where DRZ was going and remember the trail. I know it goes down this hill. And you'll see some of those yellow ribbons, so it was marked. We had it marked out, but over the months, I guess a lot of the ribbons have come down. And so, as you can see, you start looking here, there's like, where is the trail? There's Will. I'll pick him back up. And here we go. We start going, all right, where's it go? I believe we're supposed to go right here. Yo, nice save. Pays to be tall. So here the grind starts. We're officially, I believe, off the path I'm looking for. You see him looking around going, is this the right way? But who knows right now?
Is that the right trail?
Hey. A lovely E walked in the room saying hey.
Go straight up the trail? Yep.
Yeah, so I'm telling him to go right here. So I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go right. I think we're back on the trail. It's hard to tell. Look at the leaves. You can't see where you are. And obviously the other guys are gone. So I know we're supposed to head right. And we eventually are supposed to get down to the stream. But for whatever reason, we get sidetracked again, and we probably should have went left there. Here we go. And right about now, we're starting to go, I don't know where the trail is. I'm trying to help, but I don't have a clue myself, to be honest with you. There's a yellow ribbon, so we were where we were supposed to be, actually. So keep heading. Yeah, I think he's going the right way, actually. Yeah. As you can see, we're trying to figure it out. And doing a crappy job of it at that. So we start bushwhacking a little bit. I bet we were supposed to go left there down to the water. But we head right. And trying to figure it out. So basically what it is, you come down a steep hill, you're supposed to run along the river, or a river, that's not the right word, creek, and it's a little swampy, so that's hard, and that's part of the tech part. And then you come back up through these trees up the hill. We never made it all the way down, I don't believe, because I don't see the creek anywhere. And then, okay, we decide, all right, we better start trying to head back up the hill and see if we can't pick up the trail up there. And what makes it funnier is, as it turns out, the guys in front of us, TRZ, Ty, and Brandon, well, they lost the trail too for the same reasons we did. So when we finally do see them, we think they're on the trail, so we're like, okay, we're going to head up to where they are. And turns out that they weren't on the trail either. So it gets really, it's actually pretty funny. I'm laughing. I thought it was funny. Right, so I'm watching him. Oh, there they are. See them up there? Oh, there they are. So we're going to go up here and try to catch up with them. Because we think, oh, they're on the trail. Yeah, there's Brandon. He's stuck, so I know he's not on the trail. Ty decides to go a different way. So now I realize it's every man for themselves. Get the heck up this hill and get out of here. So it's a free-for-all from here. I think every one of us takes a different path out of here. So I kind of followed him. I said, okay, I see what he's doing. And I went this way. I believe Will tried to go up right away where he was, and Ty turned to he was gone, so he must have made it right out. So here we go. I'm with Brendan on his two-stroke now. He's going to go down. I'm like, nah, I don't think. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I think I was thinking, nah, I think I'm going up, not down. Luckily, it's fall or almost winter, so it's pretty open. Because when it's not, there we go. I cut off Ty. Will's to the right. He's down, I believe. Maybe not. Is he on the ground? Yeah, he's just picked it up. Anyway, so here we go. We cut back up and we just kind of barrel our way up the hill. This is not the right way to go. Oh, actually, I was already out. Okay, so here we go. We're going to continue the ride. We decide to go down to the reservoir area, which is just a great spot for us, especially for the quad. It's a great spot to ride the quad at, for sure. Some big mud pits down there and some open space, which that thing loves. Although he can go anywhere we go, it appears. I mean, we never had to stop and pull him over or anything like that. He was able to fight and get through everything that the trail threw at him. Like, that's what Brandon said. He says he can get that quad through anything, so cool. again. Woohoo! Almost didn't make it that time. Somehow I'm out in front now. That's unusual. But at least I know where I'm going on this one. Coming up to that great and wonderful downhill that I love so much. Here it is. I think it's just psychological, really. Because I fell on this real early when I started riding this area. And then I'm timid about it, where you'll go through much tougher downhills along the way. You don't think anything of it, but that one for some reason just flips me out. I get all whacked out about it. Alright, so we're popping up, and then we're going to make the left down to go to the reservoirs. The Pee-wee loop would keep going to the right over this giant tree. We're going to go left. Regroup and make sure everybody's with us. That DRZ doing wheelies? Yeah. Let's put the guy in front who knows what he's doing. We're putting DRZ in front again. Here's my man Will. Down we go. This piece is really bony down this hill, coming up it too, but it reminded me of when we rode in Mass that one time where it just seemed like it was rock upon rock. It's just crazy how gnarly rocky that this terrain can be. New England, you know, just crazy. It is nothing but rocks. Now as we get down a little further, there's two ways to go down this hill now. I don't think we were the originals to cut the little shortcut that cuts out a big rocky section, but we sure did find it and use it. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But as we come down, it's funny. I'm like, they're a little bit in front of me, so I'm like, well, I'll take this shortcut, and, you know, and use that to be all caught up with them. And they all decide to go down the rockier section. And as it turns out, I wasn't there to get on film, but if you watch DRZ's camera, I guess, on this same ride, he's posted, he manages to go over the handlebars coming down the rocky section. Like I said, I didn't get to see it, but I see them all sitting on the hill when I do the shortcut. Because you can look across and see both trails. And I see them all sitting there, and I thought maybe his bike stalled or something, but I guess he literally caught the front wheel on a big boulder and went over the top. So that's never good. I mean, when I fall, I like to fall left or right. I don't like to go over the front. That's just never good. He didn't get too banged up, but he did say his wrist was bothering him the rest of the day for sure. So, I mean, and I guess he caught his leg on the handlebars as he went over as well. So that was a pretty big hit for him. He doesn't take many. Him and Mike very rarely fall hard, that's for sure. So it's always odd when they do. One of them does, but I missed this one. See, they're going straight. I believe this is where I'm going to take the left. It's coming up here. Yeah, see, that's where they'd continue, and I'm going to go up. I'm taking this left right here and cutting off that little piece of the downhill. So I'm coming up. So they're to the right. I don't know if I can. I didn't really look at the camera to see if I pick it up as I'm coming down, because they're not that far away from me. It's just way rockier over there. It might not be any steeper, but it sure is gnarly. Yeah, I don't see him. Yeah, you see me, I'm looking for them. I'm like, they should be They should have been catching up to me right about here. I'm like, where are they? I don't see them. So I'm like slowing down a little bit, like, okay, where are they? Now I'm down the bottom back on the main trail, and they should have been, yeah, way in front of me. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Here he comes.
All good?
He's telling me about, he's checking all his gear out. He's telling me about going over the handlebars right there. Oh yeah, right
I
over.
didn't see it. Of
Nice.
course, I don't have it on camera.
He's no worse for the wear, obviously, and he's taking us on. Here he goes. There's that quad. There's my boy Will. I tell you, the one thing that I think at our age that I was telling him, the one thing that's really a saving grace is not having to kickstart a bike. I think I would have quit trail riding if I had to kickstart a bike. I don't care if it's a 125 two-stroke. It just seems to take a lot out of me. And I notice with Will, it's the same thing. I mean, it's hard. It's tough for us, I guess. So I was talking about it. I'm like, look, that's a killer bike and all, but you know, once you get an electric start, you're not going back to that kick. I'm telling you. So it opens up really nice here. We're going to buzz along. It's too bad the camera's right in the sun right now. You can see the reservoir on the left. Now usually there's water on the right you can see, but there's hardly any over there. It's still a little low. It just hasn't come back from the light rains we've had. It's better for sure. That one on the right used to be completely drained. And now you can see there's some water in it, but I've seen it where it's been, you know, looks like it's completely full. So we take the left to go across the reservoir, and all of a sudden these guys are coming back towards us. So I wasn't sure if they were messing around, what was going on, but I'm like, well, I'm going to keep going. I know this is the way to go. So I keep going this way. And this is a beautiful piece of land right here. I'm like pointing at them, but why you turn around? Why are you going that way? And eventually I do. This is like one of my new favorite spots because this is where DRZ saw the eagle that time, and I want to catch the view of an eagle one day. But he made a good point to me. We were talking. I'm like, you know, I never see him. He goes, first of all, you have to look for him, and second of all, you have to kind of know what you're looking for. He goes, you might have seen him a bunch of times, but if you don't really take a close look at the bird itself, it will just look like an osprey, he said, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, you know, that might be it. I'm just not that educated on what to look for. So, but still, I know this is a spot they like because you've seen them here at least once, if not twice. And so I'm always like, yeah, man, I'm gonna catch a view of one of these one day. It's, I don't know, pretty cool. So DRZ's doing his little. There's a real nasty little section he just went through over there on the left. I don't do it. I'm like, I'm not going over there. I've been over there twice and got stuck. It's just a little loop. Here he comes. He came back. So here we go. We're going to head back down. We're going to head into the... We're going to cross into the piece of the reservoir here. Now this can be full all the way up to this bank we're on to the left. I mean, not over it, but up to it, and it's still super dry. So we decide, well, DRZ does, and we've done this a couple times with Mike too, is to drop down into the muddy section that usually is underwater. That's not underwater right now, because I mean, this is, if you're into sliding your bike around, especially the quad, this is a cool spot to be. It's soft, it's muddy. It's not, like quicksand soft, but you definitely can rip it up. So there they go. Everybody's kind of ripping around and enjoying the open slick space. So yeah, these guys decide to go through a little bit of the right on the edge of the water where it's really muddy over there. Brandon goes first with the KTM. It's just throwing mud everywhere. It's crazy. Of course, Ty's like, wait a minute, I'm on a quad. I'm going to have a ball with this. Here's Will with all his lights on his bike. He's got it all decked out now. There they go. Look at him burning around. I should have gotten closer. You think with your camera, because you can see it with your eyes so clearly, you think the camera's picking up what your eye sees. But you realize when you watch back, it makes it look like I'm a mile away from those guys. And I'm literally, I don't know, 30, 40 yards maybe. It looks like, man, they're on the other side of the world. Look at the mud. That's crazy fun. Yep, DRZ taking a shot at it, of course.
Things like a tractor.
I don't remember if Will did it. I had no desire to go through the mud. I've been in enough mud in my life. I don't need to go seek it out. Anyway, from here we're going to end up in the sand pits, and once again, this is where we miss Mike. DRZ doesn't know which way to go, and I think we're supposed to go right. So I think we're supposed to go right. Anyway, we end up all lost up in the sand pits. We put it to good use, but we don't like to mess with people's sand pits because that's workspace for them. So we don't like to go in there. We like to try to stay out of it if we can. Just buzz through it to get to the next trail. But seeing we were so lost, we ended up riding around it for a while, just figuring out where to go and turn around. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. There's a lot left. I'm just tired of talking. So enjoy the day.
Can't stay here too long. Here comes Ellen. This is the one thing you didn't want us to do. I didn't know. I made a mistake. I went the wrong way. Not the smoothest path we ever took. Everybody took a different trail. Or no, everybody made their own trail, is what happened. Yeah, let's go where we know the trails. So we can carry some riding. You know, this is just too much grind, right? Let's go ride. Are they still trying to get out of there? Yeah, that's what I did. That's the only, I couldn't find a trail. Everything's leaves. So I just said, you know what, I know it's uphill. Let's just go uphill. Yeah, you can get there that way. If you, I thought we were going to go back to the original path. I think what's going on is Will takes a while to get his bike started. He loses the path, and I don't know the path. So then we, you know what I mean? If I wish I knew, I could jump in front of him and say, follow me. But I'm looking at the same thing he's looking at. Going, I have no idea. Yeah. Oh, let's go. Let's just go. All good? Did you fall down? I didn't see it. Of course I don't have it on camera. All right, hit it, buddy. Things like a tractor. Let's roll. Can't stay here too long. He'll come down. This is the one thing he didn't want us to do. I didn't know. I made a mistake. I went the wrong way. Let's try that, I guess. We don't know where to go. We're going to go that way. Does that take you to the road?
Next way.
Then we don't want to go that way, right? What's that? Go ahead. We lost Will. We're looking for the path that takes us through the woods to Chesterfield. We can pop over, remember? I think it's back this. You can't. Here's the thing. This guy will let me use this, but he doesn't like quads. And I'm afraid I don't want to piss him off. There's Chris Funk. He owns the sand pit, and I just don't want to. Let's just get it. Yes. You know Chris? Bald-headed guy, shaved-head guy. Yeah, he's, I know him from when I was a kid, but, he said, you can come in here, but I don't want any quads, I don't want to be ripping the sand pit. We just broke both rules, I want to get out of here, because he'll come down here with his quad if he hears it. He'll start screaming at you. So let's grab Will and get the hell out of here. How did we lose him? It was flat and straight, no? I was gonna say, I didn't think there was any danger zones. I didn't see DRZ's fall. How was that? Nice one? Yeah. Over the bars? Oh, that's always a win. We're gonna cross. You know where the reservoir is on Chesterfield? Oh, well then why are you asking, bro? It's more trail riding, but it's it's more challenging than what we've been on, but it's not brutal. Why, you looking for some brutal stuff? Oh, yeah, it's mainly grinding, dude. It is what it is. If you want to lead and go fast, man, feel free. The paths are pretty. I mean, if you get to a fork, just stop and wait for us. There's no reason you have to stay slow because I'm slow or whatever. Take the lead, rip it. that will take us to a Beckwith Road, but then you... No, let's go that way. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Come on, you wouldn't be a bong brother without it. That's possibly true. Is it? No, I'm doing fine. I'm up for whatever you're up for, but take... Yeah. No, doing good. Yeah. I think when you asked me if right or left, you probably were right. We should have gone left there. But I thought we always turned right on that trail. Okay, well, let's go easy, yeah? You okay? You want me to help you? Okay, okay. Give me a second. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. You okay? Did you get hurt?